Okay, Booktube, let's fight.
Round 1. Jessica versus Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. Who will win? Stay tuned.
I will be starting a new series on my channel, Me versus Booktube. I will be taking well-renowned love books that I've been terrified to read because I think I'm going to hate them, quite honestly. And I'm going to read them and give you my honest review. Can we trust Booktube overall with their reviews? Books that everyone loves? Is like, do we really love it? So if you know, on my channel I tend to read a lot of diverse contemporary. That's my jam, my bread and butter. I also do like fantasy. That's actually what started my reading journey. Things like Three Dark Crowns, Red Queen. There are many popular books that I do love, but there's also many popular books that I don't love. So this is a fun series just to figure out, can we trust Booktube? Can we trust popular booktubers? Let's find out. The first book that we will be focusing on is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. Also really well known for Love, Simon, the movie that came out, which I have watched because I'm a fake booktuber and I watch movies always before reading the books. It just happens. I'm sorry. I was one of those kids who was like, I'm not like other girls. I don't like things just because they're mainstream and people tell me that I'm gonna love it. If you tell me I'm gonna love it, I'm gonna purposely hate it. Yeah, I'm that girl. Yeah, I was a pain in the ass, I know it. While doing my research for this video, it was really funny because I see all the reviews coming in for Simon versus the Homo Sapiens, and since I really love The Irish Reader, he talks about it being one of his favorite books all the time, so I thought most people love this book. But little did I know, I googled Simon versus the Homo Sapiens and look what popped up. My dude Gavin saying he hates it. Now I can't wait to read it because then I get to watch the video and see what he rants about. I am so scared. Me and Gavin have pretty similar reading tastes. I know he likes a lot more middle grade and fantasy, things like that, but I feel like we both like the same aspects in stories. But yeah, I feel like we have similar reading tastes. Gavin's someone I like follow as a book reviewer because I like his opinions and how he explains books. So now I'm extra scared because I knew I didn't really think I was gonna like this book. Like I knew, but now I feel like I know I won't like this book and I'm so terrified. Okay. So let's see whether or not I love or hate this book. I mean, I kind of hope I like it. That'd be cool, but I have low hope. Low hope. Welcome to my little reading corner. We got little fairy lights. I'm comfy, that's all I gotta say. That's what's important. You understand. So I actually don't own a copy physically of this book, so I will be listening to it on Scribd. Scribd sponsor me already, man. It's probably going to be a 3.5 hour read, so I'm just going to be listening to it. But first I want to react to the first sentence. If you're new to my channel, I love just analyzing first sentences. I think it's a great way to figure out the writing style of the author, if you're gonna vibe with it, if it makes, you know, if it tingles your interest. Tingles is a terrible word, I apologize. I feel like you could feel that word when people say tingle. There's like elevator music at the beginning of this. Weird. Wait, let me play it for you so you believe me. Listen to this. What is this funky elevator music? I don't think I approve. Oh, it turned into smooth jazz. Wait. Okay, wait, sorry. Distracted, but wait. Listen.
Harper Audio presents
A much needed beat drop. Okay, let's listen to this first sentence.
Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. Performed by Michael Crouch.
Okay, I dig this music.
1. It's a weirdly subtle conversation. I almost don't notice I'm being blackmailed.
Wait. Let me play that back. I need to...
It's a weirdly subtle conversation. I almost don't notice I'm being blackmailed.
subtle conversation. What? Okay, that's a really great, like, first moment. I don't know if that's the first 2 sentences or the first sentence, but that, kudos, Becky. You did good. That first sentence, I'm hyped now. I'm hyped. Okay. But I'm like really hoping you know, that the book continues to shock me in good ways. So we will see. I'm so shook. Send me good vibes because I need it. I'm so scared. And conflicted, that sentence was so good, but Gavin didn't like it, so. But the Irish reader, Kevin, loves it, and this is quite the dilemma. I don't know what to think. Okay, let me just listen. I'm procrastinating because I'm scared as hell. So far, liking it, but I feel like I'm gonna have the same issue that I have with the movie with the book, in the sense of not really getting why he feels obligated to just follow through and listen to the guy, Mark, whatever his face, instead of talking to Leah. So if you don't know, oh my god, I didn't even tell you the synopsis. I'm such a bad YouTuber. Okay, the synopsis of Simon versus the Homo Sapiens, just in case you were like me and like didn't read the book but also didn't even hear about the movie, you have no knowledge. This is a book about a guy who is closeted currently. He is gay. He's only had girlfriends. His friends don't know. His family doesn't know. And he had been secretly emailing somebody he found through Tumblr. They don't know each other's identities, but they know that they go to the same school. And they have these very long email strings about being gay. And this dude, Mark, from school finds the email account through like their school library. Like, Simon went on, logged in, left it open, and a kid followed right after him, sat down and went, hey, he's gay. Let me use that to my advantage and try and get a date with his friend Leah. I guess maybe. I can see that happening, maybe. That's the premise, and basically Simon is blackmailed into helping this dude get a date or whatever. I just wanted to hop on here and talk about the fact that Simon just talked about how he thinks it's easier for women to come out. Like, he just thinks, because in Tumblr a lot of guys will talk about how it's really hot for girls to be lesbians and stuff. The ignorance is so high. Yeah, but I'm assuming it's gonna be like discussed. I'm hoping. We'll see. Wow. Oh. Wow. I'm only on chapter 3 and he's judged so many people already. Wow. I'm just surprised. Okay, first of all, he judged Alice, his older sister, for getting 5 piercings. He's like, I just don't understand her. And he was bothering her, like asking her about it, even though the parents were cool with it. A little weird for him to be like, I don't understand her. It's like, it's an ear piercing. You don't have to understand it. Like, he 5 seconds later goes and gets kind of self-conscious. He didn't like that his dad said or made fun of someone who was gay and said that like they were their own pride parade. He was like, dang, like I hate when people make fun of me by proxy. So they're making fun of gay people, so you're making fun of me. He doesn't like that. He doesn't appreciate that. Makes sense. But then you don't like it when people judge you, but then you go and judge this girl for having piercings. Oh, and then he also judged 2 girls who he said were interchangeable, wore a thick eyeliner and read a lot of manga, which was literally me in middle school and high school. So, not loving Simon right now. But I get he's supposed to be an angsty teen. It's just so funny that someone who's so scared of being judged rejects other people so quickly and judges people so quickly. Yeah, high school things, I guess. I moved so I could eat my chips over here, but I just realized what's happening in chapter 9. I thought they were just gonna talk about sexy time. We're literally, and I guess this is maybe a spoiler, it's not even a big plot point, but he's masturbating, which is kind of weird for a young adult to be explicit in the sense of saying like, my right hand's busy, I'm trying to be quiet, thinking of making out with someone. I'm gonna keep going and see how more or how much detail we're going into. Like, I really hope it ends fast. Like, he's young, I'm pretty sure he'd finish fast, but I don't want those details. And it's weird to me because this is an adult writing about a teen's experience, but to be explicit's a little weird because it's like, yo, this is technically supposed to be a minor, even if he's fictional, and you're an adult writing this. So unless you're writing for adult fiction, I feel like then you can get explicit all you want, because it's like you're not thinking about minors masturbating. Let me keep listening and seeing how explicit it gets. I'm hoping that it's just he gonna finish real fast. We're just gonna maybe have an actual talk about sex and stuff. But if it's, I'm concerned. Oh no. Okay, I am eating chips. I apologize. Very short, maybe like 30 seconds, but it was very clear that he was masturbating. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, totally for sex positive YA content, but like, I feel like you can always fade to black. I always feel like that with TV shows too. It's like, you don't have to show us the boobies and all the stuff. Just like, fade to black. Like, what you doing? But yeah, that just made me feel a little uncomfy. So I guess I could understand why some people might want that in the book, because they feel seen, but just still a little weird. Like, could have faded to black faster, in my opinion. I don't need to know that he feels like jelly or he's thinking about blue tongue and hands, and no thank you, that he's a minor. Yes, I'm still at my table in this awkward angle, so deal with it. Martin just threatened, well, not really threatened, but the first actual threat of, that is the loudest car ever. The first actual threat of like, yo Simon, I think you would like my brother. I think he's, earlier Martin mentioned his brother being gay and how that's why he's cool with gay people, because that's acceptable. But he was in front of Abby like, you would really like to hang out with my brother, Simon. Fighting words. That's all I gotta say. Fighting words. I would say this is the first time I actually felt worried about the blackmail. We're at chapter 13 though, so hopefully it'll progressively get more urgent, but I'm just saying, where was this energy in the beginning? Martin's been this chill, likable guy for most of the book. Well, likable and then nerdy, adorable, like he doesn't know what he's doing, awkward, face of high school nerd, you know what I mean? Where it's like, dude needs a friend. But now I guess he's realizing that he needs to up his game. But like, you don't up your game and then blackmail. You up your game and, you know, ask the girl you like out. He already did. She already turned him down. He needs to move on. Capiche? Get my eye twitch going and get mad. You know what I mean? Dude? Poor Abby. Because I don't know, if someone was blackmailing me, I would tell my friend, being like, yo, this dude likes you, but he blackmailed me to get to know you, so he's not really a good guy. But like, let's not tell him and you just, you know, turn him down gently. Let's figure it out together. We are a team. Something, right? Okay, I'm confused because Martin just did something bad that I just talked about, right? And I was like, ooh, fighting words. Now we just had this little interaction because, you know, Martin forced it and he was like, we're gonna hang out, right, before I out you. But at the end of the date, Simon's like, well, Martin's growing on me because he ordered a waffle. No, like, how did he grow on you is my question. Where was he nice or sweet because he ordered a waffle? Help me make this make sense. I'm even more deeply confused. Okay, we're getting into spoilers. He just told Abby that he was gay. I think that actually happened in the movie. I wonder if I cared when I saw it in the movie. I'm not as critical when I watch movies because I know I'm purely going for entertainment, and I really love the actor who played Blue and Abby. Sweet beans. Okay, but hold up. You're not gonna tell Leah, your best friend. You're not gonna tell your sisters. You're not gonna tell your parents who are cool with literally you drinking and calling them by their first name. But you're gonna tell this girl who just moved in. I'm deeply confused. But at the same time, they were just talking over email about like, you know what? It's so easy to talk to you, Jacques. I wonder why it's easier to talk to you than my parents. Obviously, talking to someone anonymously is way easier than talking to someone who's in your personal life. But why would he tell Abby? Because that girl is in his personal life and the reason why he's being blackmailed. So if anything, I'm really hoping he's gonna say, hey, so yeah, this guy's been blackmailing me because he likes you. What's happening? Many hours later, and I have finished Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. I think I'm gonna watch the movie. I know you're dying to hear my thoughts, and I will give them just tomorrow when I can sit on it more, because I feel like there were many things that I didn't like, but I kind of enjoyed myself. I'll explain more tomorrow, but I'm gonna watch the movie for fun, and I'm gonna eat chocolate too. It's gonna be a good night. We got the movie playing, I got some matcha, and I got random chocolate bites. Very excited. This lady just had the nerve, and by lady I mean the mom, Simon's mom, just had the nerve to say, don't skip breakfast because it helps with blood sugar so you don't develop type 2 diabetes. They're eating mother effing pancakes with like powdered sugar and like blueberries and syrup, and there's stacks of them. Woman, maybe if they ate a healthy breakfast, that fact would be right. You're literally feeding them sugar. I'm already feeling like, did I enjoy this movie the first time I watched it? Crap. What did I sign up for? Oh, I will say, I think I remember the dad in the movie, I think illustrates the more like heteronormative guy than in the book. In the book, it seemed like Simon was just being moody to his dad for making a joke, whereas I think in the movie it's layered much better, if I recall. Please don't hate me, guys. This is my opinion. I have a preference. You have your preference, I have mine. Alright, y'all, it's been a few days and I have many thoughts to share with you. But first, let's jump into the skit. Oh, I don't care that you didn't think my coming out was gonna be a big thing. It's not up to you. It's supposed to be up to me. When, where, and how, and who I get to tell, it's supposed to be up to me. And you took that. So why don't you please get the fuck away from me? I don't know why I feel so embarrassed doing that skit. So that was the coming out scene, very short bit that Simon says in the movie Love, Simon. But I'm here to finally wrap up my thoughts on everything. So, can we trust Booktube? Did I love it? Did I hate it? Let's talk about it. First thing I will say is, like, there are things that I love about the movie and what the movie did well, and things that I love about the book and what the book did well. But I will say overall, I think the book is a 3-star. And I don't think it's the best book ever. I think it probably hit a lot of people because this was their first time seeing themselves in that book. So I could totally understand why people are so obsessed and in love. And it has its moments. It has its moments. Don't get me wrong. I personally just didn't think it was a 4-star because I didn't completely enjoy reading it. So a 5-star to me would be, this is a new favorite. I want to reread it right now. I really love all the aspects, the character, the plot, the writing, all aspects. So that's a 5-star. 4-star is, I really enjoyed the book. Maybe the characters weren't perfect, maybe the plot wasn't perfect, maybe the writing wasn't perfect, but I overall enjoyed the experience and for the most part enjoyed all the different aspects of the book. So a 3-star for me, and this is where Simon falls into, really I didn't have a thorough enjoyment throughout the book. I had moments of, oh, that was cute, or that was special. So that's why it's a 3-star. For me, I think I didn't like Simon in the beginning because he had some snide comments and things like that, which I know a lot of YA authors write that in to make teens feel more teen-like, where they're judging people and like, because he said some remarks about the sister's piercings and things like that, and I don't think it really added to the character, besides made him seem more judgmental, which is interesting because this is a book all about not judging him or like asking other people like his dad not to judge him for being gay. But that's the first thing that I really love about the movie more so than the book, because the movie, I think it really outlined how the dad was making lots of snide jokes about being gay or someone being gay and how Simon didn't appreciate that, whereas in the book, since I read that first and rewatched the movie, a lot of the comments, the dad mentioned one comment, which is still probably too many, I totally agree. But the way Simon blew up at the dad in the book was during the scene where Simon is drunk and he's mad at his parents for being mad that he's drinking under the age. So it was a really weird moment to pull up, "Well, Dad, you say all these gay jokes, you don't love me, that's why you're punishing me right now." So it just was a weird moment to insert that, but obviously if he's drunk, he would totally say that. And it's interesting how it wraps up at the end where the dad admits, like, I was wrong, yeah. But I didn't like how that played out, just because it made Simon seem so privileged that he comes home expecting his parents to be okay with him being drunk. To me, that was just like such a huge, like, out of body, like, I would never, if I was under the age in my own parents' home, calling them by their first name constantly, coming in all drunk and stuff, expecting them to be okay with it, and like, I don't know. Very weird, and I think the movie did that just a tinge better. So that's why I kind of had an issue with that, and I wish there was more layering of the dad being, like, you know, a little bit more pro-masculine and stuff like that, so that way Simon has that reason to really have that outburst. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion, but something that I really loved from the book that you didn't really see in the movie is it was truly a secret who Blue was. I couldn't remember who it was from the movie, I just knew it was the black kid. And I was reading the book and it was so interesting, the dialogue that Blue had, reading the emails talking about, yeah, it's interesting how the standard is white and straight, and knowing now that Blue is black, I really loved reading that, because Simon's also like, damn, I thought of him as a white guy, whereas in the movie you don't see that because he automatically assumes that this character, the black kid at the beginning, might be Blue. So we kind of watered down that message of white straight being the normative, and I thought that was such an impactful message, so I really appreciate the book doing that. But I also appreciate the communication they had throughout the book. It was just so sweet and cute. But I will say something else that I didn't like, which took away some enjoyment, is the explicit scene of like Simon masturbating was a little weird. I didn't need that. Like, I love sex positive books. I'm a personal, I like a fade out, because this is supposed to be a minor. I'm thinking of this kid as an underage teen, like he's 16 or 17, and it was just a little odd to me that he's underage drinking, thinking that his parents are cool with it, and that we're explicitly reading about him stroking and thinking and biting and all this stuff, and I'm like, this is a minor. I can get reading adult books and having explicit content because the person in the book is supposed to be adult, so I felt like we sexualized the teen there, that we didn't really need to. Like, talking about sex in a healthy way or getting turned on in a healthy way, sure, I want to see that in books, but I don't want to explicitly hear about a minor, even if they're fictional, doing things just because it rubs me the wrong way. It's a little bit weird. I don't know if other people felt that way. That's how I felt. But yeah, let me know how you felt. That's another thing. The side characters in Love, Simon. Leah was kind of mean, but I didn't really understand exactly why, and I think that's maybe why she got a spin-off, because I was just like, she is very upset and fighting for a very long time with Simon, which I guess is normal teen stuff, but it just felt weird that for a very long time Leah dropped off, and I guess she was practicing for her drumming stuff, and that's really cool, but like Simon wasn't concerned about her, which is weird as a friend to not be concerned about your other friend who's ignoring the crap out of you. So I didn't like that Simon wasn't concerned for Leah at all. For like, he had moments when he finally went to her and was like, I was worried, but like we didn't see or hear his worry in between the moments where she was gone for like a third of the book. Not a third, probably a little less than that. But also in the book, Martin was like a very morally gray character because he was kind of quirky and didn't know how to flirt and didn't know how to have friends, and I really like that complexity to him. And in the video I talk about, I don't know how to feel about him, and I kind of like that because I feel like that can happen. People who want something from you aren't necessarily just evil. They want something, they don't know how to get it, so they do something bad. And I like that conversation with younger audiences. Just because you want something doesn't mean it justifies how you get it. I love that conversation. Whereas in the movie, Martin, it didn't make sense really why he ended up being cool with Simon at the end. I guess we never really see him get cool with Simon at the end. They just kind of like, okay, go away, Martin. But there was no morally gray complexity to him, I feel like, which kind of watered his character down and just made him really silly, which, you know, good for a rom-com. But I also will say there were some moments in the book where I was just like, what is happening? Why is Simon making the choices he's making? And I do feel that it's just because his character was supposed to be YA, it's supposed to be a teen, so it didn't share too much of his deeper thoughts of like why I want to share my coming out story with this friend first. It kind of like once or twice mentions why, but I feel like we can also talk about it a little bit more, about safety, about coming out and feeling really insecure about that and how it's such a big deal. And I feel like his coming out the first time he did it was really just rushed, and I guess that can happen in people's lives. It's a true reflection, but I just feel like, I don't know, man, like this whole book is all about that. He's so upset about his like emails possibly getting out, and he kind of just does that. It just seemed out of character. So I feel like there was just moments where I didn't really understand his motive. And there was also times when Martin did something ridiculous and he'd be like, I kind of like Martin, and I was just like, no, don't like Martin. He just did something really horrible to you. I don't like it when the author tells us that we're supposed to like him or not like him, when there were just good moments of Martin being human where I know, I'm like, he's a weird character. So there was moments where I feel like just could have been different, but obviously I'm not a writer. I have never written a full length novel, so those are just personal critiques of how I felt. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you saw anything different or feel differently. That's how I feel about Love, Simon. I personally didn't love it or hate it, which is kind of worse. It's kind of the worst place to be in because it was just generic. I don't know if I needed to ever read that. I could have just watched the movie, but I do feel like it added layers to it. So I think it's a good book to read to enter queer lit, but there's so much more variety and discussions happening now that I think it was a good like starting point. And I think that's why so many people loved it, because they finally saw themselves, and now we're just opening the pool and adding so many more POVs and adding so much more just levels to people. And I think that's what's cool about YA, is like we're not like old YA anymore. We're growing to the point of having characters who actually have a lot of layers, and not layers of just like them needing to be diverse or intersectional, but layers in the character of how they feel about themselves, how they feel about the world, and that being very clear and apparent throughout the book. And maybe they change throughout. So I like that, because I feel like Simon was a little bit not a strong character. He was wishy-washy, and I don't think teens are as wishy-washy as we think they are. They have reasons for every decision they make. So that's just a side point. Another thing I didn't like about the book is how they referred to Tumblr as the Tumblr. Like, who did not catch that in editing? Like, what the F? That was the most ridiculous thing. And this book came out in 2015, so I had no excuse to talk about Facebook and the Tumblr like that. In 2015, when I was graduating from high school, and nobody was on their Facebooks, nobody was on the Tumblr, everyone was on Instagram, and it was so funny that they kept referring it to the Tumblr instead of just Tumblr. Wow, it sounded old every time they said it over and over again. I was like, dang. The last thing I will do is recommend a book, and that is Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett. This also has musical theater in it. This the play in here is Rent, which is amazing because our main character does have HIV. She's been living with it her whole life, and she takes medication that keeps it at bay, and it really helps inform us of our misconception of dealing with HIV. She is a black sexy woman. She is bi. This book talks about bi erasure a lot. It talks about having safe sex, but it fades to black. It doesn't give you any explicit scenes like Love, Simon did. That was so funny, oh my god. But yeah, I would highly recommend this. And then someone blackmails her saying, I know you have HIV and I'm gonna tell everyone unless you break up with somebody. And she's freaking out. The representation is so good. There's an ace character in here, there's bi characters in here, there's an LGBT club and community, and there's also a discussion around the friend group about accepting each other and not questioning each other. It talks a lot about like friendship, queerness, parenting, how to support your kids. Highly would recommend if you love Simon. So it's just different, and it has similar elements with theater, queerness, and questioning your sexuality and coming out. And it just has some layers of like HIV, talking about friendship in a deeper way, in the sense of like bi erasure and people's opinions of you. So yeah, highly recommend. I hope you enjoyed this video. It is a new style of video. I'm gonna be doing way more of these. So let me know if you liked it. And if you didn't like it, you don't have to tell me. I'm just kidding, you can tell me. I'll just block you. Cuties. I'm kidding. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. I hope this video gave you more sunshine, and I will see you in the next one.